So what is drop servicing and how can you become successful doing it? What is up guys, my name's Stephen Harvey from Plan to Profit, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through the different ways of starting up a drop servicing business. I'm going to be taking you through choosing your service, choosing your price, finding your freelancer, and then also finding the clients that you want to sell to. And we're going to look into my website and my drop servicing business, which generated my first $2,000 sale within the first 3 weeks of starting. But before we get into that, if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel already, hit that subscribe button down below. That's greatly appreciated. That way you guys can find out when I bring out another video, and I'll be sure to be making more videos like this in the near future. So before I jump into the process that I followed to get my first client, we're going to have a look at the website that I built. So this website I built using WordPress and using Divi, okay? And I can actually leave a link down below to those for you guys to sign up to, as well as a service provider and a host. So the most important thing to me when building a website was just to get it out in front of the customer as soon as possible, because once you're actually part of that real estate in terms of online real estate, you can then build onto it and improve, just like you're making home improvements on your own house. So on the homepage, it's relatively simple. We've got a nice color scheme going on with the blue and white, and we can see the headline is quality video production at an affordable price. And then I'm saying the little sub headline, animated videos for businesses using high converting sales video formula. So that's kind of telling them what we're offering, and that's really important to have above the fold, because then that way you're actually telling the customer straight away exactly what we're about. And then I have a little button here called book a free strategy session. So if I click on here, what it actually does is it takes me to the next web page, which has a calendar. So I use Calendly. This is where clients can actually click on any of these days and times. And just so you guys know this is legit, there's my name right there. So this is my website, and they can book in anytime they want. That's available on my Calendly. And then what happens is I then jump on a strategy call with them, or in other words, what we like to call a sales call. Now we'll let you guys go more into detail on this website. You can 100% go ahead and do that. At the end of the day, we can see we've got packages and prices down the very bottom. So if I click that, it will take the customer straight to those packages and prices without going through the whole kind of mini funnel that I've got going on. So we can see we've got what I can do. We've got the stats as well. So that's really important. People like to see statistics. If you show them the statistics, then they're more likely to make a purchase or choose your business. Then we have the process that we go through. So people want to know how this works, how long it's going to take. And then I have some testimonials through there because people just love testimonials, which I'm slowly building up more and more. We have some example videos. People love example videos as well. And then we have my packages. So we can see how much I charge out on these packages, and we can see what they include. So I have three tiers of packages. We have the whiteboard example videos, the explainer example videos, and the premium videos. And so the really good thing with having three is it's not too many to overwhelm the customer, but it's also not limiting it to two less. If you give them two, then they have to choose between the two of them. If you give them one, you either want to go with one or three, okay? Don't go with two, because what happens is when you go with one, obviously that directs them to just a single product or service, and it means they don't have any freedom to decide. But with three, what it means is most likely they're going to click on this middle one because they don't want the cheaper one. That's just human instinct. Sometimes they don't want the cheap one, and then at the most expensive, sometimes they don't want to spend that much and get the top of the line one. So they're more likely to click on the middle one and purchase from the middle one. And then down here we've got my PayPal buttons, and you can see here we've got all the dollar amounts that correspond with the number of seconds, because this is per 30 seconds. So if they want a longer video, it means they've got to pay a bit more. Quick and easy, just like that. Super simple website that generated my first client within 3 weeks. So it's really, really cool. But let's move on now into how you can create a business like this. So obviously at the very beginning of a drop servicing business, you want to decide the service that you're going to be drop servicing. Is it graphic design? Is it video production? Or maybe you want to get into digital marketing. These are popular niches that you can get into, but you can drop service almost anything that is a service. So you can jump onto platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or People Per Hour. But before we go onto those platforms to find ourselves a freelancer, we do want to find out the competition, okay? So what's the competition like? What is our competition charging, okay? We want to make sure we're not charging above the competition, because at the end of the day, if you're charging above, then they're more likely to go with your competition for a cheaper service. But we don't want to charge too far below the competition so that we're not really making much on the profit margins. So once you find out the average price of the competition, you then also want to go onto those platforms and post a job and find out the average price of the freelancer or your team to do the job. All right, so once you guys have picked your niche, you browse through the competition and you've worked out the average sale price of their services, you then want to find yourself a team. So we're going to head on to Upwork here, and we can see on here, this is an example of mine. So I put out a job. So we want to post a job, for example, animated video experts, because that is my service that I'm offering. We can also do so on people per hour, post a job on here. So we can see I've got another project right there. Or you can also go onto Fiverr as well and look up a different service. So for example, if we're going with graphic design, we can just go and click on this logo design. And let's say the service we're offering is like a branding package. So we could do copywriting, we could do the logo design, templates, invoices, everything like that. And we can type that in there. So I'm just using logo design first of all. And you can see what people charge for these logos. You want to see the revision numbers as well, because it's really important to have revisions. And then obviously see the quality. So go through the quality, get a few different freelancers in here so you can weigh them out against each other and just see how well they're going to be. You really want to go for the ones that have the high star ratings and the high number of orders, like 1,000 plus orders is really, really good, and they've got a really good rating. Now that's the Fiverr way to do it. If we're using people per hour or Upwork, we will need to post a job, and then what happens is the freelancers will apply for that job. So in the job description, you can say you need to be able to use these platforms, you need to be able to do this, logo animation, logo this, invoice design, things like that. Post up the job description, and then they will actually apply for the job. Then once you've worked out the average cost price, you're then going to work out your sale price. So to do so, you want to take your competitor's price, and then you want to take your freelancer price. And you can pretty much just work out any kind of number in between there. That is completely up to you. You can choose the price and what you want to sell everything. And you can even up your price. So maybe your competitor charges this much just for logo design, but maybe you could charge 2 or 3 times your competitor purely because you actually do it in a package. So you could have a branding package rather than just one logo design. And that way we can start increasing our average sale price through our customers. All right, so now we've built our website, we've looked at our competition, and we've got our team of freelancers. We need to sell this thing. Now to do so, we can head over to something called Find That Lead. Find That Lead is a tool that allows you to basically extract emails in the United States. So in the world, we have something called a CAN spam. The CAN spam Act means that in the United States, you can actually take anyone's email and you can not necessarily spam them, but you can send them emails advertising your service. Now, in countries like Australia and New Zealand, where I'm from, this is illegal to do. So you can't actually do it here. So you have to use other platforms like Facebook advertising and things like that. And so with Find That Lead, you can actually sign up to this one, and you can find leads through emails and different services. So you can actually narrow down the service types, the niches that they're in, and it will give you some emails to cold email out to. We also have another platform called Snovio. Snovio is great for getting leads, but it can also send emails out. And so in order to use Snovio, you can use it on LinkedIn, or you can even use it on Google here. So I've got it loaded up as a Google extension. And so if I click on the Snovio icon, which is in the top right corner of the extensions icon, so you probably won't see it on this example because I'm just hiding that URL bar, but it's just a purple little icon. And then what it's going to do is it's going to extract on this page of Google all of these website names. So you can even go further, and I'm pretty sure if I click on number 2 here, it's then going to continue to extract more and more names. And then once you go get emails by domain, it then goes ahead and extracts them for you. And then if you log into the Snovio account, it's going to give you an email list that you can send out to. So you can either choose to use Snovio to send your cold emails out and create campaigns using those lists, or you can actually download those lists as CSV files and use another mail provider such as Woodpecker or MailRush, and they can send your emails that way. And so these advertising methods are almost free, okay? You do have to pay for subscriptions for some of these platforms. There are other lead generators that offer free trials and everything like that. But compared to paid advertising using Facebook ads, This is obviously can become a lot cheaper to begin with. And then once you build up the capital, you can move into paid advertising. Moving on to the last step now, let's say you've secured a client, they want to go ahead with your service and they pay you. So once they've paid you, you then want to jump onto those freelancer platforms and try to get a hold of those freelancers that you've kind of vetted out and shortlisted down. You can find 1, 2, 3, no matter what. You want to make sure you have a few backups in there as well. And so once you have those freelancers, you pretty much proceed with the job. And then they will require you to pay. But remember, that client has already paid you for the service. So it means that even if you pay this freelancer, you don't really have that risk of losing money, because you don't want to pay the freelancer and then all of a sudden that client pull out and not pay you, because then obviously you'll be out of pocket. So obviously make sure you take the money from the client first, then go ahead and pay the freelancer and they'll do the job for you. In some cases, you can also get a 50-50 split. So what happens is the client will pay you 50% upfront. You can also negotiate with your freelancer to pay them 50% upfront. And then once the job is complete, you can go ahead and receive the 100% or the extra 50% from the client, and then pay your freelancer that extra 50% as well. Because generally the client himself, when he pays you that 50%, that should actually cover the full cost of the freelancer as well. So if you can, that's a little hint for you guys of making up your own price. If you can make up a price that is at least 50% more of what the freelancer is charging you, it means that in some cases, if the freelancer doesn't want to do the whole 50% deposit and then 50% later, you can still pay them 100% off of what the client has paid you 50% of their price. So I do hope this made sense to you guys. It's a little bit of an information overload to begin with, but you can obviously rewatch the video, go through the steps, but at the end of the day, it's all about doing, okay? Like I said, I did get a sale within 3 weeks. Now, that's not me saying that I guarantee you will get a sale in 3 weeks. What I am saying though is if you put in the work by creating the service, the website, as well as a advertising offer that just can't be resisted, then I can only imagine that it increases your chances of getting a sale as soon as possible. But that is all from today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button down below, especially if you like this method more than drop shipping. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down in the comments below, or you can even let me know which service you would like to start with. Is it graphic design? Is it digital marketing? Tell me down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, as well as hit that little bell button so you will be notified when I bring out another video. But like I said, that's all from me, and we'll see you guys in the next one.